Today, inshallah, we talk about one of the Sahaba. He didn't see himself as Allah saw him. He's one of those Sahaba that when you talk about, he was so focused on what he's doing, and others saw him in other ways. To tell you a little bit about him, Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu said, do not make him a leader of any of the armies, because he will get them into destruction. He's so much of a strong fighter that he wouldn't stop. He wouldn't know how to stop. Who we're talking about today is Al-Bara ibn Malik radiallahu anhu. One of the first of the Ansar that always with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He attended Uhud. He was in Uhud. And then he was in Al-Hudaybiyah, أو بيعة تحت الشجرة. He gave the allegiance under the tree. And those were one of the best of the Sahaba. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned them. And he said, nobody gave allegiance under the tree that will go to hell. All of them is going to heaven. One of them was Al-Bara ibn Malik radiallahu anhu. Al-Bara is the brother of Anas ibn Malik radiallahu anhu. Anas is the servant of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And quickly, he said, one of the manners of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam with Anas that always stands out, he said, I served him over 10 years and not one time he told me, why did you do this or why didn't you do that? Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He never blamed him for a mistake. He just would say, next time maybe we can do that. But he would never say, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, why did you do that? It happened. There's nothing to change. So no blaming to his servant, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Al-Bara ibn Malik was his brother. And he was known for his strength. He wasn't a big man. He wasn't a giant man. He was actually known to be below average in his height. But he was known to be very brave. One of the most famous battles that he was in was Ma'arakat al-Yamama, the Battle of Yamama, when Musaylim al-Khattab and his troops hid themselves into a big farm. And it had high walls. And the Sahaba couldn't do anything about it. A lot of the Sahaba died in this battle. A lot of the companions of the Prophet ﷺ were murdered in this battle. But Bara ibn Malik, when he looked at it, he didn't sit down and say, what should we do? He said to the Sahaba, carry me on an armor. So they brought an armor, and he wasn't a big man, as we said. And they lifted up with spears, and they threw him inside that farm. And they said, we kept hearing shouting and screaming until the door opened, and Bara ibn Malik was there. His body has over 80 cut and wound. Khalid ibn Walid sat over a month after that, and he's nursing him. Khalid ibn Walid was one of the leaders of the Sahaba in this battle. He was the one leading this battle at the time. But he said he sat down and he tried to nurse him for a long time from how many wounds he had on his body. In Tustur, which is one of the biggest battles of Islam with the Persians after that, he had shahada. He was a martyr. But he went out in the beginning and he fought the leader of the Persians, Mizrab at the time. And he won and he took what he had. But at the time, he got older. It was the 20th, it was I think the 20th year of Islam. The 20th year of Hijrah, sorry. Bara ibn Malik fought his life through. Bara ibn Malik didn't stand down. Bara ibn Malik didn't say what others will do. When he saw the Muslims in trouble, he stepped up for it all the time. In the battlefield, where usually people are scared for their life. When one of the companions walked on him one day, he was fixing his arrow. And he said to him, do you think I will ever die on my bed? I fought 100 of those that battled me before the battle. Back in the days, they used to come before the battle and say, who's the strongest among you, so armies can show off. And the Bara ibn Malik used to come up and he used to fight. And he never got defeated on one of them. Radiallahu anhu arda. And the day that he died shaheed. And they saw a lot of the disbelievers around him in the battlefield. Bara ibn Malik was a good example for bravery in Muslims. Bara ibn Malik was a good example for people that didn't live life for the sake of life. Bara ibn Malik was a good example for people that understood in order to be respected, you need to be strong as a Muslim. And in order for your ummah to be protected, you need to be out there serving your ummah and protecting it. Jazakallahu khairan for Islam. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us with them in Jannah, that we can sit down with them and hear firsthand from them. Allahumma ameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.